Director Sean Erickson. Call me at 402-483-6515 to learn about career opportunities.
Modern Woodmen of America, touching lives, securing futures.
With so much financial uncertainty, are you wondering if retirement savings will last? Markets ups and downs can keep you guessing, especially if you're approaching retirement or considering it. Hi, I'm Edward Jones, advisor Ryan Bach. If you have more questions than answers about what's next, let's work together to help you ensure you're prepared for the journey. After all, retirement isn't the end of the trek. It's a new beginning. Stop by our office at 8380 Old Cheney Road, Lincoln, Nebraska. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Good morning, Breakers. This is Scott Miller from Midwest Bank. When I recently joined Midwest Bank, I was immediately impressed by our exceptional service. My first customer made the switch from a large corporate bank and didn't have to wait in line or call a 1-800 number. We treated him like family. He now visits the bank just to say hello. While other banks go corporate, we stay Nebraska. Visit us at midwest.bank or drop by a branch today. Your community, your bank. Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Husker Nation, your perfect softball plan is here. With the flexible Husker Softball On Deck deal, you choose the action. For just $38, pick any 4 games plus 1 from the can't-miss Iowa series. Build your own schedule, catch your favorite matchups, and cheer on the Huskers your way all season long. But don't wait, these mini plans won't last. Visit huskers.com/tickets and make your own mini plan today. Go Big Red.
At Raising Cane's, we hand batter every chicken finger, mix every cane sauce, butter every Texas toast, stir every slaw, and salt every fry. Because when you do it right, you can taste it in every bite. Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports is quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
Hey guys, this is former UFC fighter and mixed martial artist Anthony Lionheartstone. The Upside Bar and Lounge in South Lincoln is the go-to spot for every UFC event, prelims, and main card. There's never a cover, so make sure you get there early and stay late. Upside Bar and Lounge has daily specials, a margarita club, and a taco club. And don't forget, they just added Buzz Bowls to their menu. Learn more about upcoming events by visiting UpsideBarLNK.com and stop into their South Lincoln location for every UFC event on 27th and Pine Lake.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is the Power Hour with two-time national champion Todd Uhlir. Powered by Window World of Lincoln and SetTheBarSups.com.
All right, good morning, Husker Nation. Today's show is different. Today's show is bigger than sports. This is episode 71 of the Power Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. And this morning, we're talking about grit, faith, family, and a fight that started when a boy was just 8 years old. So at 8 years old, Lexon Grof was diagnosed with Langerhans. I'm going to destroy this. I'll bring the family in here shortly so they can say it right. A diagnosis no child and no family is ever prepared to hear. So hospital rooms instead of locker rooms, treatments instead of practices, uncertainty instead of game plans. But here's the part that defines this story. He didn't quit. His family didn't quit. And today, Lexon isn't just surviving. He's thriving. He's competing. He's grown. And he has officially signed a letter of commitment to play basketball at St. John's University in Minnesota at the next level. This is just amazing. So from cancer diagnosis at 8 to college basketball commit. That's not luck. That's grit. That's guts. That's faith. Today, we're joined by Lexon, his mom and his dad, Jeff and Ashley. We're going to walk through their journey, the fear, the strength, the setback, the breakthroughs. Because this story isn't just about basketball. It's about resilience. It's about perspective. It's about what's possible when you refuse to let circumstances define you. All right, this is episode 71, and this is the Power Hour. And today, we tell a story that matters. So welcome, Jeff, Ashley, Lexon. Glad to have you here. Thanks for joining us. I can see you all. I have to look.
Hello.
You hear us good?
Yes.
Awesome. So you guys are in Minnesota, right?
Correct. Yes.
Sorry. Just teasing. Us Husker fans, right? So let's start at the beginning, because every powerful story has a moment that changes everything. So Lexon was just 8 years old when he was diagnosed with, and you guys can say it. What was he diagnosed with?
A Langerhans cell histiocytosis.
Right. I can't. A lot of syllables for an
mouthful.
So kind of take us back to that moment, mom and dad, when you first heard the diagnosis, what went through your minds?
Honestly, prior to his diagnosis, I'd never even heard of it coming from the medical field. It's super rare, 3 in a million kids. I think in the moment we heard the diagnosis and what it meant, I think there was shock and then definitely fear with the uncertainty that was ahead. So I think we were stuck between a moment of being frozen in the unknown and then also being in kind of that fight or flight mode.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I've dealt with some cancer in my family, dealing with it right now as well. Cancer sucks, right? Period. And so, what was the first weeks and months like, as a family? Talking to doctors, I suppose you dove deep, kind of went down the rabbit hole of, what's this mean, right? Because there's so many different types, right?
Yeah, definitely different types. Due to the complexity, we immediately sought out multiple opinions, did we get the right diagnosis? Is this our reality? Is it really cancer? I think kind of praying and hoping maybe the initial doctor was wrong. Mm-hmm. Then the other thing we kind of dug into was definitely our faith and channeling sort of once I think the initial shock wore over is, we can kind of succumb to, the cancer portion and kind of let that take over your world, or we can buckle up, hit it head first. And I think that was kind of always our stance is, again, we're going to try to shut out as much negativity as we can. Definitely our friends and family and our faith, though, is what kind of drove us through, and definitely kind of praying that the doctors would be wrong every step of the way. Not that you ever hope a doctor's wrong, but in this instance, we did. Yeah. We hoped they were wrong.
Absolutely. So just kind of I was 16 when my dad was diagnosed with kidney cancer. And, so I kind of had that feeling, but not having a child. So mom and dad having a child, that is diagnosed, and, kind of tell us where was this at? Like, how does Langerhans cell histiocytosis, did I say?
Yep.
How does it work?
Yeah, so it's an extremely rare form of blood cancer. So it falls into the blood cancer family, but how it's different is these essentially cancer cells can form clusters within bones and organs and act like Pac-Man and eat them away. As I guess unlucky as it would be, one of Lexon's classmates and friends actually was in the midst of cancer treatment in the same small town when he was diagnosed. So I think that made it twice as scary for him because he had a front row seat to watching what his friend was going through as well.
And then, so how did I mean, he's 8 years old. Like, how did you figure, like, what were the signs?
Yeah, good question. So I remember it vividly. We were on a field trip to the zoo, school field trip. It was a long day. I was helping chaperone. At the end of the day, all the kids, you know, are like, my feet hurt, you know, quickly fading as normal kids would. Lexon's not a complainer. So when he does complain, it catches our attention. At the end of the field trip, he actually sat down, broke into tears, and told me, like, I physically can't walk. I'm in such pain. So as a mom and knowing he's not a complainer, I was like, I got to get him to an orthopedic urgent care. So long story short, we drove there. They did imaging, blood work. Honestly, they're like, we don't see anything. Like, he's fine. My mom gut was like, something more is going on. I'm telling you. I remember telling my husband, like, something is going on. Something is off. He started getting a sporadic limp periodically in the midst of flag football. And I remember taking a video and sending it to my husband because he travels for work. And I'm like, do you see this very mild limp? He, as most dads would do, like, he's fine. He's playing flag football. You know, he's sprained an ankle, toughen up. And I'm like, I'm telling you, something's wrong. So we went back to the initial orthopedic. And I remember him telling me, like, do you think as a mom you're reacting? Like, he's telling you it hurts. You're giving him the reaction he wants. And I remember looking at the doctor and I'm like, I'm not leaving until you find out what's wrong with my kid. Long story short, he referred us to the University of Minnesota to a doctor that specializes more in arthritis. I think, honestly, truly just to keep me quiet and appease me at the point. They called and were like, we, you know, are booked out quite a few months. Do you feel this is urgent? And I said, no. Long story short, fast forward, we went to the appointment. At that point, he couldn't flex his hip. The doctor said, I'm going to order imaging. I'll call you with the results. We got 5 minutes down the road and she called me and said, I need you to turn around. There's a massive tumor in his femur. They did more emergency scans. We did an urgent surgery biopsy, and then we got the news a week later.
And so, I mean, had you just said, he needs to toughen up out, I mean, obviously this was 10 years ago. So, you know, does a lot, I mean, I would assume being in this fight that you've met other families and stuff like that, that it's gotten, you know, to a point with a lot of kids that can't come back from it.
Yeah. It's staged differently than normal cancers. You know, most cancers are staged 1, 2, 3, 4. Langerhans cell, with being so unique, is staged in 3 forms. There's what they call single focal, single system, meaning you only have one tumor in one spot. Then the next one is multifocal single systems, meaning you have multiple tumors, but within the same organ. And then the highest one is multifocal multisystem, meaning you have multiple tumors across multiple different organs. Unfortunately, Lex fell in the multifocal system. So we heard normal doctors tell us, like, thank the Lord you pushed, because it had already spread to multiple places. So I guess one time in my life where your mom gut was definitely spot on. So I'm thankful we pushed, thankful for the University of Minnesota for listening and finding it.
And so where else? So it's in his femur and it's pretty high up, right towards his hip.
Yep. So in his femur, it had eroded 90% of the top of his hip bone. So doctors told us how the hip bone didn't just break in half is a miracle in itself. They're like, we've never seen that. He had another tumor in his sternum, ate away a big hole in his sternum, one in his S1 vertebral body, so at the bottom of his back, and then another one in his thymus gland as well.
Wow. And so what was, I mean, so you get the news and obviously they lay out a plan for you. What did that look like to treat this?
Yeah, good question. So immediately, because of the hip, They said we need to put him in a spica cast. It's a cast that goes from your belly button all the way down to your toes.
Thanks.
Yep, for 3 to 4 months. Lexon begged and begged and begged. He's super active. He couldn't sit up. And I said, is there any other option? They said, the only other option is he'll be wheelchair bound for 5 months. Can't stand, can't. I said, we'll go that route. We'll take our chances. We immediately started chemo. So they said he'll be looking at minimum a year of chemotherapy. So we dove deep down into that. Lexon's friends pushed him in a wheelchair around school, sometimes into walls. We did a lot of carrying up and down stairs. So I think Lexon, that was probably the best shape of my life I was ever in. But deep dove, the chemotherapy started with once a week. We were supposed to do once a week for 6 weeks. Ideally, the cancer responds. Then you drop down to less frequency. Lexon's cancer unfortunately spread during the initial cycle. So we had to repeat the initial aggressive cycle. Then thankfully, after repeating it, it started responding.
So 12 weeks of
12 weeks of weekly chemotherapy through his port that gets placed directly near the heart. So that way when they inject the chemo in there, the heart can pump it out throughout the body. And at the same time, he also did oral chemotherapy as well to really double hit it.
Wow, that's tough. So, I mean, never personally gone through chemo. I've watched my mom do chemo, my brother do chemo. It looks horrible. Kind of obviously, was he pretty much bedridden at that point during those weeks or?
Yeah. So during the initial cycle, the chemotherapy can't tell the difference between good cells and bad cells is essentially how the doctor said. So for the first 3 days after chemo, any fluids, spit, urine, throw up is considered toxic. So we had to keep him in his own bathroom. He had a little sister at the time, because again, any fluids that come out of him then are toxic to the rest of us. So we probably cleaned more during that time period than I think I've ever cleaned in my life.
Right. Toxic everything.
Yeah, we cleaned everything.
Even your spit.
In your spit, your tears, your throw up from the chemotherapy. Yes, everything. So we stripped sheets. I think at that point we probably should have bought stock in Lysol, but yeah. So we were constantly battling the chemo, which was helping, and the side effects of the chemo. Took us a while to figure out the perfect cocktail.
So did they give you like, hey, there's this % chance that he's going to, you hear those different things with cancer, right? Like, is that something they say, hey, if he responds to the chemo, he's got a better chance. If he doesn't, we're going to have to go in a more aggressive route, that kind of thing.
Yep. So when he initially didn't respond to the initial cycle of chemo, we had to meet with doctors and decide what's next. Due to the rarity of the cancer, unfortunately, there was no clear path, and that's what the doctors told us. With most cancers or studies, there's a path. With this, we're kind of throwing the ball in the air and just praying it lands on a right spot. So they gave us the choice. You could switch chemo to a chemo with even worse side effects, or you can repeat the initial cycle. Their recommendation was switching the chemo. Again, my mom gut was like, we should repeat the initial cycle. Like, those side effects in itself are really bad. The chemo they want us to switch to, I knew was going to be that much more debilitating. So we elected to repeat the initial cycle. Now, years later, research and medicine have advanced. The chemo Lexon did is now recalled. It's not an option and it's not a choice anymore due to the side effects and the high risk for recurrence with it. So we're thankful Lexon, has beat the odds, I guess, and didn't have that issue. But a lot of lasting side effects he has now is because of that chemo. That's now no longer an option.
And what are some of the worse things?
Yeah, I'd say the lasting side effects, it definitely attacks your pituitary gland that controls your body temperature, your growth, your hormones. So because it damaged that, Lexon had to be on a daily shot for 2 years. It definitely attacked his bones, the chemo did. So he's really prone to injuries and bone breaks. The orthopedic.
You've been through quite a few bone breaks.
We've been through a lot of bone breaks. He's actually playing on an ankle that is going to need surgery ASAP currently. The other thing is neuropathy. So, I mean, not being funny, but his teammate calls it deceased people hands. His hands, when he plays, literally turn purple and they're freezing cold. And he'll tell you, like, I can barely feel my fingertips. Again, our choice there is do a medicine for it, but the medicine has nasty side effects. So always trying to find that balance.
So his hands turn purple.
His hands become purple. His teammate called it yesterday deceased people hands. He's like, Lexon's hands feel like you put them in an ice plunge. Yeah. When he plays, you can literally see them. They look purple.
He's out there shooting 3-pointers. I saw him hit a game winner on a video the other night, a couple of weeks ago, maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fun. And he's doing it with like purple hands.
Purple hands, yes. Purple, frozen, lost of feeling hands.
Yeah. So at what point and how long, into this, were you guys like, okay, we're somewhat in the clear here?
I would say definitely once the cancer started responding the way the doctors hoped, that was around 12 weeks after starting that I was like, okay, I'm feeling better, not good. Doctors are like, well, ideally the scans would show no glow at this point. He's seeing improved glow, but his hip still lights up like the fireworks on the 4th of July. But we slowly felt better and that we were taking steps forward.
So how long did he end up having to be on treatment?
1 year. So one full year, 12 months. He did.
Any surgeries in there?
Yep. He had multiple surgeries. So he had to have the surgery to do the biopsy. Why they got in there, which was supposed to be a short surgery just to take a biopsy of the tumor, became a multi-hour surgery because the doctor actually said in the 2 weeks from the scan to the surgery, the tumor had rapidly grown. So that became a lengthy surgery where they attempted to remove the tumor. So he's got a 14-inch scar on his hip. Unfortunately, later a scan would reveal that wasn't successful. Then we had a surgery later to put the port in. Later down the road, he had another surgery to take the port out. So we joke that they should name a wing of the hospital after us at this point, probably.
And this was at the University of Minnesota Hospital?
Yeah, so he got diagnosed at the University of Minnesota Masonic Children's Hospital. We elected to treat at Children's Hospital Minneapolis and Texas Children's Hospital in Houston, and Baylor's Hospital was also a part of it due to the complexity, as well as Cincinnati Children's Hospital.
Gotcha. So they did a great job. How long has he been cancer-free?
He just hit his 9-year remission anniversary.
Years. Awesome. And
yeah.
Besides some lingering long-term side effects, everything seems to be good.
Yeah, he's doing good. In fact, we just had his 9-year checkup, and the doctor actually commented, this year is probably the best Lexon's done health-wise. So he also pointed out, sometimes you forget when you're 9 years out of it. We're just kind of like, it's in the rearview mirror. We forget how many, odds he defied until they bring in their, training physicians. And I remember one walked in one time and told Lexon, like, okay, I need you to stand up. Do you want me to get you, crutches? And Lexon just jumped right up. And he was like, wait, the kid can jump? Because he's like, on paper, he shouldn't do the things he can do.
Yeah. Awesome. All right. So we got to go to break. So when we come back, we're going to hear from the young man himself. I know he's probably a lot like my son, doesn't like to talk a whole bunch, but I'll try and help him with that. So, and what it was like growing up with this, through that battle and how he turned that adversity into fuel. This segment was brought to you by Window World of Lincoln. Go to windowworldlincoln.com, and we'll be right back after this and talk to Lexon.
Just got the brakes fixed on my car today.
You did? You haven't even left the office.
I didn't need to. I got a guy who picks up my car and drops it off when it's done.
Well, who's your guy?
Graham Tire. They have pickup and delivery service at all 5 of their Lincoln locations.
Schedule your service online on the Pickup and Delivery tab at GrahamTireLincoln.com. That's GrahamTireLincoln.com. Let us do the running. Some limitations apply. See store for details.
Hey, Husker Nation, this is Todd Uhlir, 2-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep the clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street, online at doubleeagle.golf.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
Tired of your furnace running overtime this winter? Let Heartland of Nebraska Windows save the day. Upgrade to stunning, energy-saving triple-pane vinyl windows installed by their team of experts. Every window comes with a lifetime warranty on everything, all for a price you can actually afford. Free estimates, flawless replacements, and peace of mind from a family-owned business you can trust. Don't wait. Call Heartland of Nebraska Windows at 402-430-3852 or visit heartlandofnebraskawindows.com today. Unearth the secret to long-lasting tires at Tread's Central Tire Pros, a league apart in commitment, service, and expertise. This isn't just about rubber meeting the road, but trust, safety, and surety converging in perfect harmony. This is where expectations are exceeded every time. Make your appointment today at Tread's Central Tire Pros, just south of Cortland on Highway 77, or visit our website to explore our services. Remember, when it comes to tires, choose Tread's Central Tire Pros because we tread differently.
Hey guys, it's Nick Sainer. Join me on Saturday from the Galen Center in Los Angeles as 93.7 The Ticket covers Husker basketball's big road game at 3 p.m. versus Eric Musselman and the USC Trojans. I'll have pregame and postgame videos on the Ticket's social media pages, as well as commentary throughout the game. And I'll chime in for postgame beginning around 5 p.m. as well. Our coverage from Los Angeles is sponsored by the Lincoln Airport, Dio Technologies, Ben Bleicher of Professional Realty Group, a BHHS ambassador, and Scissors and Scotch Lincoln.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
A membership with John Henry's will fast track you to front of the line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing.
And electrical.
This is Jordy Ball for Anderson Ford. For years, Anderson has relied on an exceptional customer experience. But just this once, they're going to rely on a really great pitch.
Right now, lease a 2025 Ford F-150 for $199 per month.
Experience better at Anderson Ford.
Stock number 1007055. Previous service loaner. $199 per month. Lease for 36 months with approved credit. 7,500 miles per year. 6,800 to assignee. No security deposit required. Tax, title, and license fees extra. Residency restrictions apply. Program subject to change. Must take new retail delivery from the Anderson Auto Group by 3/31/26. See dealer for details.
Back to the Power Hour with Todd Uhlir on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to the Power Hour. I'm your host, Todd Uhlir, and we just talked to Mom, and I said we're going to talk to Lexon, but we got to hear from Dad a little bit, right, Jeff? So
absolutely,
kind of give us, sound like you travel for work and all this is going on. Kind of, give us your perspective of hearing the news, going through the treatments, and obviously what that was, kind of the strain on the family.
Yeah, it's obviously it's like Ashley said, it's difficult when you first hear it, right? Your mind goes from everything's great in the world and in our inner circle and family, and then your mind goes straight to, oh my God, what's next, right? You think about all the worst things, right? So through that first initial stretch of it, your mind's in a place which isn't a good place. And then, once you get settled in, like Ashley said, it's like, all right, there is no other option here, right? I know I still recall telling Lexon he didn't want to do one of his treatments. And I'm like, hey, you have no choice here. Like, this is my decision. You are going to sit down. You're going to fight for this, whatever, right? Like, we're going to do it. And, at that point it settled in and we did all the right things and thank God for Ashley, with a medical background, really kind of eased my mind and I think our family's mind, and did a lot of, extracurricular research, and it kind of set that path for us. Right. So once we got settled in, like, there was no other choice than to beat this scenario. And we did it, obviously. But, from a dad's perspective, you have this vision, right? He was a good little athlete at, 7, 8 years old. And then all of a sudden, on the flag football field, you see him going downhill and you're like, oh my God, you know what? Me as a parent is being put in this position when I had this other vision. Right. So, feeling like that's getting taken away for the time being and not knowing what's to come was a huge challenge for me. But then, like I said, just, settling in and saying, hey, we're going to beat this. And this is what I envision for our family and our, my son and whatnot. I think it's working out pretty well at this point. So, thank the Lord.
Yeah, thank God, for sure. All right, Lexon, let's talk to the man. He's not a kid anymore. He's a man. Are you 18?
I am, yeah.
You're 18? Yeah, so you're a man. Okay. So at 8 years old, most kids are worried about recess and homework, right? You were facing something much bigger. Kind of take us through what you remember about that time in your life.
Yeah, the biggest thing I kind of remember was the beginning of it. I don't think I fully kind of grasped the concept. I mean, when you're 8, you are worried about recess, and it was kind of confusing going to the hospital instead of the school. So just kind of going through more treatments and then realizing, like, the treatment, it's like kills your body. Like, you feel horrible after it. It's just kind of hard to understand why you're having to do it. And then when you understand that, it's kind of just trying to change your mindset into the most positive you can. So
I think most kids by that time have, had the flu, maybe like remember what the flu feels like. Is that, tell us kind of that chemo response. What is it like the flu times 1,000 or?
Yeah, that's probably the best. I don't even, it's like a completely different like sickness almost. It's like you just don't want to do it. Like you literally cannot do anything. I think I was sleeping like 18 hours a day after it. So I would get treatments on Friday, right? So like Fridays I would get the treatment so then I could try to be back on school Monday feeling better. And then I'd still go to school Monday and you're feeling like the kind of leftover still. Like it feels like you just got off a flu for like a week, and then by Wednesday, Thursday, like Thursday, I would almost feel normal, but then the next morning you're driving to the hospital again and going to get chemo. So it's kind of a tough cycle and tough to deal with that.
So you're confined to a wheelchair at this point.
Yep.
And so your friends are pushing you around.
Yeah, I'm getting raced around the school pretty much.
So that was good. So you had a pretty good support system with your friends at school.
Yeah.
So kind of tell us, as you got older, and understood more about what you went through, how did that kind of shape your mindset?
I would say the biggest thing that I kind of learned from going through chemo and the biggest kind of mindset changer is just like learning how to be appreciative for everything in life, even the little things, and that it can be stripped from you at any moment.
Love that attitude of gratitude, right?
Yeah.
So, I think playing sport, they told you weren't going to play sports anymore. At least that's what Joe told me. He's not supposed to play sports, right? So how did y'all take that when they said no sports, or at least no contact sports, right?
When we were going through it, they kind of mentioned like you're not going to be able to do anything for a while, but that's really not your priority going through chemo. Then after the kind of oncology doctors doing x-rays and seeing how much of the bone was gone, they're pretty much saying, you're not supposed to be running. I remember one of the doctors like, okay, you can maybe start light jogging. And I ran the mile in PE yesterday. So I probably did a lot more than I should have, but that's kind of how I attacked it.
Yeah. So you're just like, all right, I'm going to do what I can. And that kind of, so basketball, I know you play golf as well. Any other sports that you did through the years?
I've kind of tried everything, but those were the only two I was decent at, so I stuck with those.
All right. So you're 6'3", and your mom said that this chemo had a effect on your pituitary gland. So I'm thinking you probably could have been 7 foot had you not gone through this. So it seems pretty crazy that this kind of attacked your pituitary gland and you still ended up 6'3". I prayed until I was about 18 to be just 6 foot. Come on, can I just be 6 foot? Right. I'm 5'10" with my shoes on. And now that I'm 51, I might only be 5'9" with my shoes on after the back surgeries and stuff I've had. But so you got to be grateful you got to 6'3". Kind of tell us about your high school team. Where are you guys at? You probably have districts or something like that. I don't know what they do up there coming up, but kind of tell us where you're at with the season and record and all that stuff.
Yeah, I believe we went 21-5. So we had a really good season, and we got the number 1 seed in our section. I'm pretty sure. I think it just came out. So excited for that. We play our first sections game next Saturday, I believe. Don't know who we play yet, but I'm excited for it.
All right, so you'll have sections. So we do sub districts here in Nebraska. We do districts and then we do state. So you guys have sections, and then if you win that,
yeah, you pretty much have to win your section, and then there's 8 sections in each class. We're class 2A, so there's 8 different sections, and the winner of each section then gets thrown into the state bracket. If that makes sense.
State, all right. And you got the number 1 seed in your section, so hopefully, right? You can.
Hopefully, yeah.
Team can make it through. So how many games do you got to win?
In sections, we have to win 3, right, to get to state?
Yeah, they get a double bye, being the number 1 seed. So then we'll have to play 3 games. So section game, section semifinal, and then section final.
Right. Awesome. And kind of tell us what, I'm a kind of a stats guy. I broke some records and that kind of stuff, 30 plus years ago. Tell us kind of your scoring average, that kind of stuff. What do you do best on the court?
I would say shooting, and stats wise, I honestly have zero idea what my stats look like. Probably better I don't look at them sometimes.
Love that. Yeah. So, like I saw you the other night. Joe sent me a video. He's like, "Hey, check this out!" And this kid in pink shoes hit a 3-pointer to win the game. Everybody rushes the court. It was awesome. So, take us through that moment.
I mean, yeah, that was awesome. It was kind of tough game. We were up 10. They kind of fought back. They hit a 3 with like 2 seconds left, I think, to go up 2, and it was just kind of deflating. It's like we were leading like the whole game. Then that happens, and then eventually, coach draws up a good play. We call a timeout like at the half court line to get it across half court line so we can get a good set going from there. And he calls a good play, and can't really ask for a better look in that situation, and just got it off clean.
Right through. It was awesome. I loved basketball, but our basketball coach wouldn't let me lift weights. So I ended up quitting halfway through my freshman year and went and wrestled because I was not going to play college basketball. I was going to play college football. And, he kept telling me that, lifting weights would throw my shot off. And I was like, you obviously don't watch me shoot because I'm not a very good shooter. And I knew it. Defense. I was the fast little guy playing defense, still in the ball. It's a little Sam Hoiberg if you're following Nebraska at all. You're following Nebraska basketball right now. I know your mom said you're a Wisconsin fan. Somebody made you a Wisconsin fan.
Yeah, I watched Wisconsin get beat up by Nebraska, though. They've had a really good year. I've watched some games.
Yeah. So, all right. So getting to this level, you've committed to St. John's University in Minnesota. Getting to a collegiate level at any level is a huge accomplishment, but doing it with, I'm assuming like your bone didn't grow back, right?
I don't know how.
When you're that young, it can regenerate.
Mm-hmm.
Like the bone can slowly grow. He regained 60% of it. So he's still missing 40% of, the top of his femur.
So doing that, kind of tell us about the grind of practicing, like how much physical, I would say pain, that's probably not typical. Do you have going through practices, going through games, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it's definitely day to day. There's some days where it's pretty tough, where it's like, gosh, my body hurts. This should not feel like this isn't even sore. It's just like straight pain. And then there's other days where it's completely normal. It is kind of tough dealing with that day to day. You never know what you're going to get when you wake up, but just kind of having that attitude that you're lucky to be able to play, even if it is through pain. So just kind of put that in the back of your mind and be thankful that you're even able to practice.
Yeah. So I run an online fitness company as well. And today was, 2,296 days in a row. I train every single day. And as a 51-year-old and gone through the madness of college football and knee replacement, 3 back surgeries, I feel the same way, Lexon. I don't know what I'm going to get on any given day. Sometimes it's great, and sometimes I don't know if I can walk or not. So I feel you there. So what drew you to St. John's, and kind of tell us about the future there?
Yeah, just kind of visiting it and seeing the school. It felt like a great school. Felt like a great fit. All the pieces kind of aligned. Love the coaching staff. Love the school. I know quite a bit of people that already went there or are there right now, and they all said great things about it. Had a great experience. So felt like everything just kind of lined up.
And they're the Johnnies? Is that correct?
Yeah.
St. John Johnnies. That's pretty cool. I was doing a little research, right? All right. If there's any kids out there listening right now who are in the middle of a battle, what would you tell them?
Biggest thing I would say is just take it day by day and just try to attack the day and win that day. And I know it's hard when you are going through treatment. You have to go through the treatment, but just try to keep the most positive mindset you can, even in that tough time.
Love it. I tell that to my 50-plus-year-olds I work with. Take it day by day, right? Win the day, do the work, win the day, be relentless. That's our motto inside the STB locker room. So awesome. All right. So from hospital rooms to college commitments, That doesn't happen by accident. This happens because of grit, family, faith, and a refusal to quit. We're going to close this out with something powerful because this story is bigger than one family. So when we come back from break, we'll close it up with our last segment. We'll be back here on 93.7 The Ticket.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit ostreetcarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
A business's phone is the lifeline to its customers and potential clients. That's why it's so important that you can take calls seamlessly from anywhere, whether you're on the road or in the office. Hamilton Business Technologies can help ensure your phone rings wherever you are. We can equip your headquarters and any of its locations with the right tools for smooth, professional call handling. As the official business IT partner of the Huskers, we know how to keep Nebraska businesses connected. Learn more at hamiltonisbusiness.com.
No one's ever explained it this way. That's what we hear at Trade-Offs when you finally see how today's crop insurance tools work with your grain marketing plan, not in isolation. With hail and wind rates increasing and margins already tight, it's time to challenge how you look at crop insurance. It's time to ask better questions. It's time to call Trade-Offs. Call us at 402-858-7501 or visit gotradeoffs.com to start the conversation. That's GOTREDAS.com. Trade-Offs, ingrained in your success. No, seriously, give us a call.
Nutrition Authority invites you to check out the top-selling Epic Effects. Epic Effects is designed to help blast body fat, curb cravings, and provide smooth energy so you can cruise through the day. Home of free samples and better-than-internet pricing, Epic Effects can only be found in Nutrition Authority. For store info, visit mynutritionauthority.com.
Hey guys, it's Nick Sainer. Join me on Saturday from the Galen Center in Los Angeles as 93.7 The Ticket covers Husker basketball's big road game at 3 p.m. versus Eric Musselman and the USC Trojans. I'll have pregame and postgame videos on the Ticket's social media pages, as well as commentary throughout the game. And I'll chime in for postgame beginning around 5 p.m. as well. Our coverage from Los Angeles is sponsored by the Lincoln Airport, Dio Technologies, Ben Bleicher of Professional Realty Group, a BHHS ambassador, and Scissors and Scotch Lincoln.
It's basketball season, and Salt Mine City is your pregame and postgame headquarters in the Haymarket for craft beers and great food. Get ready for the game with their big, fatty 7-ounce hamburger or try a Reuben sandwich served on Blackstone rye bread. And don't forget their beef or chicken nachos with guacamole, sour cream, jalapenos, and more. Wash it down with one of their 12 beers on tap, including the popular Single Axle Light American Lager. Salt Mine City, your basketball headquarters, now open at 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday and 11 a.m. Friday through Sunday at 8th and R.
I'm Alfred Nobel, the inventor of dynamite. So the Nebraska Lottery has asked me to talk about the Cash Blast promotion. Until March 24th, buy a 2x2 ticket and get a voucher. Enter online for a chance to win a $5,000 or $500 weekly prize. If you're winning vouchers from a 7-day draw ticket, your prize is doubled. So when can I explode the dynamite?
No dynamite in the studio, Dr. Nobel.
How about a cherry bomb?
No.
Sparkler?
Sorry.
2x2 top prize odds are 1 in 105,000.
Bauer Underground has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know that the best workers in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and a pedigree of success. They're offering top-notch benefits, a matching 401k, and a $600 per year clothing allowance. Bauer Underground, a family-friendly company with plenty of room for advancement.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top-quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Eustis Body Shop started as a single shop in Eustis in 1979. Since then, we've been getting Nebraskans back on the road. We treat our customers right and have never forgotten our roots, even as we've grown to 8 locations across the state. That's why Eustis Body Shop works hard to ensure our customers' safety and offers free loaner cars to keep you moving. Eustis Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended used his body shop. That's who we are.
Looking to get a room downtown or near South Lincoln? Abe Lincoln would tell you no to the Ford Theater and yes to Lincoln Hotel. Save up to 40% off downtown Lincoln prices with a nice clean room and comfortable stay. Lincoln Hotel is locally owned and offers a day pass to the city's largest locally owned gym, Good Life Fitness. Long-term stays are available. You can learn more about pricing and book your Lincoln Hotel stay today at staylnk.com or call 402-600-0565. That's staylnk.com or call 402-600-0565.
Back to the Power Hour with Todd Uhlir on 93.7 TicketFM.com.
All right, welcome back to the final segment here on the Power Hour. This segment's fueled by setthebarsubs.com, your one-stop shop to fuel all of your goals. All right, so just quick little final round here. We're going to shoot out some questions. And so let's start with Mom and Dad. What are you most proud of when you look at Lexon today?
Me would be his passion, definitely. Passion and desire to never give up.
Yeah, and I would just say grit and resiliency, right? Just being able to, see what's in front of you and attack every day is it's a new day, and just having that mentality, right? Just being prepared.
But all us dads want for our sons, right? So I just don't necessarily want them to have to go through that to learn it, right? So Lexon, what does grit mean to you now?
Just being able to persevere through tough times with no matter what's thrown at you day by day, year by year. And I don't know, just having a good mindset on it.
All right. So, and to all of you, what has this journey taught you about what really matters in life?
I would say don't sweat the small stuff. Prior to this, you're worried about, what travel, third grade, fourth grade team your kid's going to make. Just seeing the bigger picture, definitely. And just, again, not to sweat the small stuff.
I would probably say the same thing, like how little stuff in the big picture really doesn't matter, and there's no point to worry about it. And how much faith really matters, and having good relationships with family and friends can help you.
They summed it up.
They summed it up. Perfect. All right. So we do have a little bit more time. So I got a couple more questions for Lexon. So favorite basketball team?
I'm not a bandwagon, but I'm a big Warriors fan. So
Warriors fan.
Yeah, they're the team I follow.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a college basketball fan. Me and the NBA do not get along very well. Ever since Michael Jordan retired, I'm just done. I watched the best play, and
I got an NBA right now. I don't know if you can tell.
Sweet. Yeah. So once he retired, the NBA was done for me. And then especially with the LeBron stuff, and I'm not a huge LeBron fan by any means. I did like Kobe. I watched Kobe a little bit, but there's nobody like that. Like, I was just spoiled growing up in the MJ era. So, all right. So, favorite player?
Easiest answer is probably Curry. I mean, just watching him growing up, he just shows how much shooting really does matter. So I'd say him.
Work ethic too, right? That guy is.
Sure.
So I don't know if you've. I'm trying to think of the book. It's called Relentless by Tim Grover. He was Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant's coach. I've read it several times. Like, Michael Jordan was relentless. Kobe Bryant was relentless, I think, especially with how they attacked the physicality part of the game, and where Curry attacked that same relentlessness with just being able to shoot like crazy. I've seen him play. It's pretty amazing to see what he can do. So you're also big into golf. What's your handicap?
I'm about a 1.5 right now.
All right. Nice. So if you could go to any golf course, which would be your number one choice to go play?
Probably like Pebble Beach. There's so many answers. Any nice course like that is amazing to play.
All right. Augusta?
Yeah, Augusta too. I don't know if they'd ever let me on. I'd probably get kicked off if I even tried walking within it. But that'd be an awesome one too.
Hypothetical, any course. For me, it's Augusta. I love golf as well. I always made fun of the golfers in high school because they said, well, you're only golfing because you can't play football. And then I couldn't play football anymore, and I picked up golf and just like got obsessed with it. Got my handicap down to 1 at one point. Then I got back into powerlifting and kind of gave up golf, and powerlifting and golf don't really go together. But now I've had 3 back surgeries, haven't played in a little bit. I'm hoping to play this summer, but I think Augusta, that was always like a goal of mine. Like, how can I ever get on Augusta? And I still would go, play it today. I played Sawgrass in Jacksonville. I played that course, and it chewed me up and spit me out. Like one handicap, and I was a one handicap at the time I played it. I think I shot 84. That's, if you know what I'm talking. They got the island green on 17.
Yep. Yeah.
I walked up to that tee box. I had 2 balls left.
Oh no.
And I didn't know I only had 2 balls left. And I hit a little pitching wedge, and it little draw on it, and it just went. It hit the green and hopped in the water. And I'm like, okay, I'll grab another ball. I'm like, oh, this is my last ball. Like, this isn't good. So I put it on, 3-putted. It's a horrible score on 17. And then 18's got water all down the left side.
Mm-hmm.
And so I aimed so far right that there's no way this ball's going in the water. I hit it, and it drew, and it kept drawing, and it come down and bounced and hit basically kind of railroad ties, or it hit the railroad tie and bounced back in. Thank goodness. So I could finish my round. I was playing in a tournament down there, so I would have been kicked out of the tournament.
Oh yeah, you were in a tournament too. Jeez.
Yeah, so it was that was my experience at Sawgrass, and they didn't let us play the tips. I typically always try to play the tips wherever I go. They wouldn't even let us back there. They like have them closed, and they only open those for the tournament. Which is pretty great. The Players Championship down there in Sawgrass. So that's the best course, quote unquote, the best course I've ever played. There's some really nice ones here in Nebraska that I played. The Omaha Country Club. We played that the Monday before they played the Senior Open there. And I shot 90 with 44 putts. I hit the ball really well.
44.
The greens were just ridiculous. And then the seniors come in and like are shooting 63, 64. I was like, that's when I really figured out, Lexon, that I was not going to be a pro golfer.
Yeah, everybody has that moment.
I'm carrying the 1 handicap at the Norfolk Country Club, but I go play an actual course like Sawgrass, shoot 84, go play Omaha CC the week of a tournament and shoot 90, and you're kind of like, yeah, I'm probably just need to do this as a recreational sport. Favorite golfer?
Jordan Spieth.
Yeah, Spieth. All right, cool. Mm-hmm. Tiger Woods. So once again, I grew up in the Michael Jordan era, the Tiger Woods era. Tiger Woods was it for me. Just really kind of hard to see his fall from grace a little bit with injuries and stuff. But when you swing that hard for that long, your body's going to pay for it. I'm finding that out at 51. All the stupid stuff I did as a kid is kind of adding up on my body. Well, guys, I want to thank you all, Jeff, Ashley, Lexon, for joining me today. What a great story. Hopefully, somebody listening to this hears it and gets motivated and sticks through in battles every single day. I know facing a diagnosis like this is difficult, not just, physically, but mentally and financially, all those things. And so I'm honored to have you guys on my show. Thank you very much for taking the time. Lexon, good luck with sections. Good luck with surgery post season. Another surgery. I know how that goes. And good luck in college, man. So
thank you.
Thanks, guys. Have a great
Thank you for having us.
Thank you, guys.
You bet. So that's it for the Power Hour and episode number 71 here on 93.7 The Ticket. We'll be back next week.